This broke high school girl was just trying to recover the lost money she had, but instead she stumbled across a mysterious magician who might actually have real powers. If you love emotional K-dramas with unbelievable twists, you're in the right place. Hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, do you believe real magic could exist? The story begins with a group of high school girls whispering about a strange rumor. Deep inside an abandoned amusement park lives a handsome magician. Most people think he's completely insane, but others swear he can perform real magic. Meanwhile, we meet Yuna, a high school student who's already late on her very first day. Racing up the stairs, she crashes into another student and falls. Embarrassed, she ignores his hand and bolts straight to class. Unfortunately, being late comes with a punishment. The teacher makes her stand through the lesson. Moments later, the same boy walks in late, but instead of getting scolded, he's calmly told to take his seat. He is Min-hoo, the smartest student in the entire school. Only after he sits down does the teacher finally allow Yuna to sit as well. She thinks that's the worst part of her day. She's wrong. During lunch, Yuna quietly saves part of her meal for her younger sister. Before she can put it away, another student bumps into her, sending the food across the floor. While everyone else walks away, Yuna kneels down and carefully gathers every last bite. For her, wasting food simply isn't an option. Once school ends, she heads straight to her part-time job at a convenience store. With no one else to rely on, every paycheck helps her and her little sister survive. Seeing how hard she works, the owner pays her 48,000 won and offers her a permanent job. For the first time all day, it feels like life might finally be turning around. But fate has other plans. A powerful gust of wind snatches the money from her hands. She chases the flying bills until they lead her into an abandoned amusement park, and that's where everything takes a strange turn. Standing in the middle of the park is the mysterious magician everyone has been talking about. He smiles and asks just one question. So do you believe in magic? Without answering, Yuna turns around and runs. She has no idea this won't be their last meeting. Back home, she tells her younger sister about the strange man. Just when she thinks the day couldn't get any weirder, she reaches into her pocket and finds a mysterious invitation. She freezes. She's certain it wasn't there before. The next morning, her classmates notice the holes in her tights, making it painfully obvious she's struggling financially. Two girls decide to make her the target of a cruel prank. They secretly leave 50,000 won beside her desk. Thinking someone accidentally dropped it, Yuna picks it up. Instead, the girls accuse her of stealing it while secretly recording the entire scene on their phones. She doesn't realize things are about to get even stranger. Still hoping to recover the money she lost, Yuna returns to the abandoned amusement park. The magician is already waiting for her. He asks if she came because of the invitation. Confused, she apologizes and says she threw it in the trash. He points toward her hand. The invitation is still there. This time, Yuna doesn't ask any questions. She demands that he return her money. Instead, the magician takes out a banknote and right before her eyes transforms it into a blank sheet of paper. Yuna can only stare. A second later, he performs another trick. The blank paper suddenly becomes two real banknotes. Before she leaves, he notices her untied shoelace. Without saying much, he kneels down, ties it, and quietly says, "When you're running, keep looking straight ahead." It sounds like a simple piece of advice. As Yuna walks home, colorful bubbles begin drifting through the air. She glances back and catches one last glimpse of the magician silently watching her from a distance before he disappears once again. The following day, Min-hoo catches a group of girls bullying Yuna. For some reason, he can't stop thinking about her. Later, while sitting beside her in class, the school's top student does something he's never done before. He loses focus. Looking for an excuse to talk to her, he asks for help with a math problem. As they chat, Yuna quietly opens up about the financial burden. Min-hoo realizes he has no idea what that kind of life feels like. Then Yuna asks him something completely unexpected. "Do you think real magic actually exists?" Min-hoo pauses. For the first time, he doesn't have an answer, but Yuna's problems are only getting worse. That evening, she's working at the convenience store when the owner offers her some extra food to take home. Gathering all her courage, she asks if she can receive part of her salary early so she can pay off her rent. Instead of helping her, the owner reveals his true intentions. Taking advantage of her desperate situation, he corners her and refuses to let her leave. Yuna fights back. Just when it seems like there's no escape, the mysterious magician walks through without raising his voice. He performs what looks like impossible magic. In the blink of an eye, the store owner disappears. Yuna can only stare. The next evening, the magician casually hands Yuna a cup of coffee. Unable to understand him, she asks why someone with his talents chooses to live in an abandoned amusement park instead of getting a job. The magician smiles, "Because my magic is real." Yuna isn't convinced, so he decides to show her. Within seconds, every light across the abandoned amusement park suddenly flickers to life, bathing the entire place in in brilliant colors. Yuna stands there in complete silence. Could it really be magic? She spends the entire next day replaying that moment in her mind. While sitting alone at school, Min-hoo notices she's unusually quiet. Hoping to cheer her up, he walks over with a drink. He tells her he's been thinking about what she asked. Maybe there really are mysteries in this world that science can't explain. He even offers to talk whenever she needs someone, but Yuna barely hears him. Her mind is somewhere else. After class, he throws away one of his books in the trash. Once everyone leaves, she quietly digs it out of the trash, tears off the damaged cover, and hides it beneath her coat. Later, Yuna returns to the convenience store expecting another shift. Instead, she finds a completely different owner. When she asks what happened to the previous one, the new owner gives a surprising answer. Nobody has seen him since the night he met her. That answer brings her right back to the amusement park. As she walks through the empty rides, the place feels silent. She calls out for the magician. Only her own voice echoes back. Then someone answers. Startled, she follows the sound and discovers a colorful parrot. Instead of greeting her, the bird blurts out, "Ugly." Then it starts shouting that her bastard boss has disappeared. Yuna stares at the bird, completely speechless. She asks whether the magician taught it those words. The parrot simply repeats them over and over. Elsewhere, Han-na and her friend arrive at the amusement park to film a video. To their surprise, they spot Yuna walking out of the magician's house. They immediately become suspicious. That night, Yuna is shocked to find the magician waiting outside her home. Before she can send him away, a debt collector shows up looking for her father. Yuna steps outside alone. The man accuses her of hiding her father's location and begins threatening her. Before things can get any worse, the magician steps in. With a single move, he throws the man to the ground and shields Yuna. Desperate Yuna finally breaks down. "If your magic is really real, then help me pay my family's debts." The debt collector laughs. "So let's talk about money." The magician smiles. Suddenly, cash begins raining from the sky. For one breathtaking moment, Yuna wonders if a miracle has finally happened. Then reality hits. Every bill is fake. Furious, the debt collectors beat the magician before walking away. After they leave, Yuna quietly cleans his wounds. The magician invites her to become his student and learn real magic. She refuses, then asks him never to follow her again. The next day at school, Min-hoo notices the same book he threw away sitting on Yuna's desk. He pulls several books from his bag. When Yuna asks if she can borrow them, he hesitates. Then he changes his mind. "Meet me in the library after class." At the same time, Han-na returns to the amusement park, determined to meet the mysterious magician herself. Instead, she finds his foul-mouthed parrot. After unsuccessfully trying to get the bird to reveal its owner's name, the magician suddenly appears behind her. Meanwhile, Yuna meets Min-hoo in the library. As they study together, Min-hoo becomes so nervous that he can barely concentrate. Trying to calm himself down, he shares one of his earbuds with her. For a brief moment, he imagines himself playing guitar just for her. Later, Min-hoo and Yuna walk home together in the pouring rain. His heart pounds. Before he can stop himself, he blurts out, "Would you like to go on a date this weekend?" The moment the words leave his mouth, panic takes over. He quickly laughs it off, claiming it was only a joke. Embarrassed, he walks away, only to run back moments later and silently hand Yuna his umbrella before disappearing again. Back at the amusement park, Hana asks the magician a much darker question. Does he know Yuna? And was he connected to the mysterious disappearance of a girl named Dalmi? The magician ignores both questions. Instead, he gives her a simple message: "Tell Yuna I'm waiting for her." The next day, Hana wastes no time spreading the rumor. She tells Min-hoo that his deskmate has been secretly meeting the mysterious magician. Some students even believe the two are dating. After school, Yuna confronts the magician. She demands to know why he's calling for her when the entire school is already gossiping about them. The magician simply smiles, "Because I like you." Neither of them notices Min-hoo standing nearby. He hears every word. Without saying anything, he quietly turns around and walks away. The magician then reveals one final surprise. Every message Yuna ever sent to her late mother is sitting on his table. Confused, she checks her phone. The messages are suddenly marked as read. Her expression changes instantly. Overwhelmed with grief and anger, she accuses the magician of playing with her emotions. "My mother died years ago." She storms away before he can explain. The following day, Min-hoo makes Yuna an offer she never expected. He knows she's desperate for money, so he quietly asks, "What if I paid you to deliberately fail the next exam?" He looks straight in her eyes. "Don't you need the money?" Minhu's offer weighs heavily on Yuna. She knows it's wrong, but she also knows she desperately needs the money. In the end, survival wins. She accepts the deal. During the math exam, the subject she's best at, Yuna deliberately writes the wrong answers. Every mistake feels intentional, and every answer hurts just a little more. She has no idea someone is about to notice. Later that day, Yuna finds herself back at the abandoned amusement park. Sitting alone in front of an old carousel, she quietly breaks down. This was the ride her mother used to take her on when she was a little girl. The magician notices the tears in her eyes and asks a simple question. "Want to ride it one more time?" Yuna gives him a sad smile. "It's been broken for years." The magician says nothing. He simply walks over, inserts an old key into the machine, and seconds later, the entire carousel begins spinning. Lights burst to life across the ride, filling the empty amusement park with color once again. For the first time in what feels like forever, Yuna smiles. After the ride ends, the magician tells her to keep learning magic, whether she admits she wants to or not. Then he gives her one last piece of advice. Forget about your test score. She doesn't understand what he means. A few days later, the midterm results are finally announced. Exactly as planned, Minhu finishes first in every single subject. Keeping his promise, he hands Yuna the rest of the money. But he isn't finished. He offers her another deal. "If you do the same thing during the finals, I'll pay you again." Yuna hesitates, then quietly agrees. In return, she lets Minhu copy her class notes and project work. Neither of them realizes this secret won't stay hidden for long. Elsewhere, the police continue investigating the mysterious disappearance of a student named Dalmi, and one name keeps appearing in the investigation: the magicians. While the rumors spread, Yuna continues visiting the amusement park to learn magic. Watching from a distance is Minhu. Unable to ignore his growing curiosity, he confronts the magician after Yuna leaves. He tells him that every action has consequences. The magician simply smiles. "I only want to make people happy." Then, with a flick of his hand, Minhu's stack of flashcards transforms into a delicate butterfly. Minhu stares at it in silence. On the drive to school the next morning, he quietly holds the paper butterfly, along with the magician's mysterious invitation. Beside him, his father reminds him of the only thing that matters: you must always be number one. Those words linger in Minhu's mind. At school, he warns Yuna to stay away from the magician. Yuna immediately shuts him down. "You don't get to control my life just because you paid me." Her answer leaves Minhu speechless. Later, during another lesson, the magician reveals why he refuses to leave the amusement park. According to him, there's a path to heaven hidden there. Then he shows Yuna an old mailbox. He claims that any letter placed inside can reach the person she misses most: her late mother. For the first time, Yuna doesn't laugh at his strange stories. Instead, she wonders if they could actually be true. Not long afterward, Minhu unexpectedly joins one of the magician's lessons. Trying to copy one of the tricks, he accidentally burns his hand. Without thinking, Yuna gently wraps the injury with a bandage. It's a small gesture, but one Minhu won't forget. At that very moment, the police uncover another disturbing clue. The magician's phone was near the exact location where Dalmi's signal disappeared. Suddenly, he's no longer just a strange man living in an abandoned amusement park. He's officially a suspect. Back at school, Yuna is unexpectedly called into the teacher's office. Minhu's mother has discovered a large money transfer from his account to hers. To make matters worse, a photo of Minhu handing her cash has already spread online. The teacher demands an explanation, then orders Yuna to bring her father to school. Unfortunately, that won't be possible. That afternoon, Yuna writes a heartfelt letter to her mother and slips it into the magician's mysterious mailbox. Hidden nearby, Hannah watches everything, rushes over and opens the mailbox herself. It's completely empty. Certain there's a trick behind it, she secretly installs a hidden camera inside the magician's house. That same night, something even more unexpected happens. Yuna's father suddenly comes home. For a brief moment, she believes everything might finally be getting better. She asks him to come to school with her the next morning, but when she wakes up, he's gone. Again. And this time, he hasn't left empty-handed. He's taken every penny Yuna had saved to repay Minhu. The betrayal completely shatters her. With no other choice, Yuna finally tells her teacher the truth about the agreement she made with Minhu. She expects both of them to face the consequences. Instead, only Yuna is judged. Later that day, her father calls to apologize for abandoning the family once again. Through tears, Yuna begs him to come home. She can't keep raising her little sister by herself, but her words change nothing. Meanwhile, the school holds an award ceremony. To Yuna's disbelief, Minhu receives a Good Conduct Award for supposedly helping a poor classmate. Even after the truth comes out, the teachers continue praising him. Some students even blame Yuna instead, believing she manipulated him for money. Watching the applause, Yuna finally understands something. As long as she stays weak, other people will keep making decisions for her, and she silently promises herself that will never happen again. After school, Yuna returns to the amusement park with a decision decision already made. She tells the magician she doesn't want to learn magic anymore. He doesn't argue. Instead, he quietly hands her the very cards he received when he first started learning magic himself. As Yuna reaches for them, she notices blood staining his sleeve. Concerned, she asks if he's hurt. The magician says nothing. He simply turns around and walks away. Elsewhere, Minhu finally reaches his breaking point. During an argument with his mother, he asks a question he's been holding in for years. Am I allowed to have even one dream that's actually mine? Becoming a judge was never his dream. It was his parents'. He wonders if he'll ever get to enjoy his own life instead of constantly chasing someone else's expectations. At the same time, Hannah sneaks back into the amusement park to retrieve the hidden camera she planted inside the magician's house. She almost gets away with it. Then the magician's parrot spots her. Caught the thief! Caught the thief! Panicking Hannah grabs the camera and runs. Meanwhile, Yuna rushes home, only to discover her younger sister is gone. Her heart sinks. Terrified that her sister has run away because of everything their father has done, she desperately searches the neighborhood. Just as panic takes over, her phone rings. Her sister is safe. She's simply staying at a friend's house. The relief doesn't last long. While Yuna worries about her family, Minhu can't focus on studying. His parents' expectations are becoming impossible to carry, and when Hannah finally watches the footage from her hidden camera, she freezes. The next morning, Yuna is stopped on her way to school by the police. They show her a photo of the magician. Do you know this man? Caught completely off guard, Yuna denies everything and quickly walks away. But the situation only gets worse. At school, Hannah gathers both Yuna and Minhu and hands them a copy of the hidden camera recording. What they see is horrifying. The footage appears to show the magician stabbing someone with a knife while saying, "I'm the real magician." Hannah immediately calls him a dangerous psychopath. Then she turns to Yuna. Has he manipulated you too? Furiously, Yuna shakes her head. He's a real magician. Before Hannah can argue, Minhu cuts her off. He reminds her that secretly placing cameras inside someone's home is a crime. Still, he can't ignore what he just watched. Later, Minhu once again begs Yuna to stay away from the magician. Yuna refuses. She tells him she knows the magician better than either Hannah or the police. As she walks away, she notices Minhu's mother waiting for him. Annoyed, Yuna tells him to stop interfering in her life. When Yuna arrives at the amusement park, she finds a completely different side of the magician. He's surrounded by children, laughing, performing tricks, making them smile. It's impossible to believe this is the same man from the video. At the very same moment, Minhu treats his own mother coldly. She brings him food. He throws it away without even looking at her. Instead of getting angry, she quietly reminds him that the final exams are almost here. Back at the amusement park, Hannah decides to confront the magician herself. The moment she enters his house, he notices the hidden camera attached to her clothes. She doesn't even try to deny it. Instead, she accuses him of being a psychopath and demands to know the truth behind the disturbing footage. The argument quickly spirals out of control. Suddenly, Bella's cage crashes onto the ground. Seeing his beloved parrot in danger, the magician completely loses his composure. He grabs Hannah by the neck. Terrified, she breaks free and runs as fast as she can. Moments later, she runs straight into Minhu. Showing him the bruises on her neck, she insists the magician tried to kill her. For the first time, even Minhu begins to doubt everything. The following day, the pressure finally catches up with him. Halfway through an exam, he can't think. His vision blurs. His head pounds. Unable to continue, he stands up and asks to leave the classroom. Later, he asks Yuna the question that's been haunting him. Why do you trust him so much? Yuna answers without hesitation. She says she spent her entire life waiting for someone who would truly listen to her. When she was little, she believed Santa Claus visited every child except her. The magician is the first person who's ever made her feel seen. Those words stay with Minhu, but his own problems are only getting worse. After school, his parents explode with anger over the unfinished exam. He finally snaps. I don't want to become a judge. I want to become a magician. He accuses his parents of treating him like an investment instead of their son. His father responds with a slap across the face. Silence fills the room. Deep inside, Minhu wonders if achieving someone else's dream will ever make him happy. His mother refuses to back down. From now on, she says he's only allowed to go to school and his private academy. Nowhere else. That night, Minhu can't stop thinking. His entire life has been one straight road chosen by other people. But after meeting the magician, one question refuses to leave his mind. Have I ever made a single choice for myself? At the same time, an elderly woman lies trembling on the ground. She desperately begs the magician to spare her life. Without saying a word, he walks away into the darkness. The following day, police return to question Yuna. An elderly woman's purse has been stolen. stolen. According to one witness, Yuna was seen with the magician at times. Then another familiar face appears, the former convenience store owner. He tells the police that Yuna and the magician robbed him before trying to throw him off a railing. Every piece of evidence seems to point in the same direction. Just when it looks like the magician has nowhere left to hide, Minhu steps forward. He calmly tells the officers he was with the magician at the exact time the robbery supposedly happened. If I was with him, how could he have committed the crime? His parents immediately order him to stay out of it, but Minhu refuses. He argues that being suspicious doesn't make someone guilty. The pressure becomes too much. His breathing turns shallow. His chest tightens. Overwhelmed by anxiety, he saw a butterfly. He stares at it and silently thinks, if you really are a magician, please help me escape this cold road, so one day I can run down a path covered in flowers just like you. But before anyone gets the answer, something far more horrifying happens. A young girl is jogging beside a quiet river. She suddenly stops. Floating in the water is the body of another young girl. Everything is about to change. The discovery of the body sends shockwaves through the entire city. Police believe the victim is the missing schoolgirl Dalmi. As investigators search the area, they uncover even more disturbing evidence. Dalmi's school ID, along with several of her personal belongings, are found near the abandoned amusement park. Suddenly, every finger points toward one person, the magician. But Dalmi's mother refuses to accept it. Through tears, she begs the police not to stop searching. My daughter is still alive. At the very same time, Hanna walks into the police station. She reports that the magician attacked her and shows the bruises around her neck as proof. With every new accusation, the case against him grows stronger. Unaware of what's happening, Yuna rushes back to the amusement park, hoping to find the magician first. His house is completely empty. While searching for clues, she discovers an old diary. Inside is a strange set of instructions. Curious, she follows them and pulls a hidden lever. A secret door slowly opens beneath the floor. She carefully makes her way into the basement, and what she finds catches her completely off guard. The magician is sitting quietly beside Bella. His beloved parrot is dying. For the first time, Yuna sees the mysterious magician in tears. She immediately warns him that the police are coming and begs him to hide, but the magician calmly shakes his head. I've done nothing wrong, so why should I run? Yuna's voice begins to shake. But what if nobody believes you? The magician looks directly into her eyes. Do you believe me? Before Yuna can answer, the police burst into the house. She desperately tries to stop them, demanding proof that he's guilty. Instead, the magician gently holds her back. He tells her not to fight. Then with one final smile, he says the only thing he ever wanted was for someone to believe in him. As the officers lead him away in handcuffs, he turns back one last time. Please take care of Bella. Watching him disappear, Yuna begins to question everything she thought she knew. Outside, the lead detective pulls her aside. You have no idea who that man really is. He reveals a shocking secret. 10 years earlier, the magician escaped from a psychiatric hospital. A few years after that, he was arrested again in several separate cases. Everything Yuna believed suddenly starts falling apart. Was she protecting an innocent man or a dangerous criminal? Later, Minhu finds Yuna sitting alone inside the magician's house. Still shaken, she tells him everything the detective revealed. For the first time, she wonders if she's been trusting the wrong person all along. Minhu listens quietly, then gives an answer she never expected. I believe him too. Determined to uncover the truth, the two track down someone who once learned magic from him. The woman immediately recognizes his name. She wasn't just his student, she was one of his closest friends in high school. According to her, the magician wasn't always the mysterious man living inside an abandoned amusement park. He was once one of the brightest students in the country. Born into a family of extraordinary achievers, everyone expected perfection from him, and for a while, he delivered. But behind every perfect grade was a young man slowly falling apart. The pressure became unbearable. Eventually, he suffered a severe emotional breakdown and was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. The woman insists that despite everything he went through, he could never hurt anyone. In fact, she says the reason he became a magician was surprisingly simple. He wanted to bring happiness to people. He wanted children to smile. And after experiencing the pain caused by adults who only cared about success, he made himself one promise. He would never become the kind of adult who forced someone else to live a life they never chose. Suddenly, the magician doesn't look like a monster anymore. He looks like someone who spent his entire life searching for a little kindness. And just when Yuna and Minhu begin believing they've uncovered the truth, they have no idea an even bigger revelation is still waiting for them. Back at the police station, the investigation comes to an unexpected halt. During an investigation break, the officers discover something impossible. The magician has vanished. No broken locks, no signs of escape. he's simply gone. The moment Yuna hears the news, she calls Minhu. Together, they race back to the abandoned amusement park. When they arrive, they find the magician standing alone beneath the spotlight on the old stage. The police quickly surround him. The lead detective orders him to surrender. The magician smiles. "You want me to confess to something I never did." Then he calmly reminds everyone that escapology has always been his greatest trick. No prison was ever going to hold him. Realizing he has no intention of surrendering, the officers raise their weapons. Just before they move in, Yuna steps between them. She begs the detective for one chance to speak with him. At that very moment, Minhu loses control back at school. After hearing another student mock the magician and spread more rumors, he finally snaps and gets into a fight. Meanwhile, something unbelievable begins happening inside the amusement park. Snow starts falling from the ceiling. The officers look around in stunned silence. Nobody can explain it. Yuna slowly walks toward the magician. She reaches for his hand, then quietly says the words he's waited so long to hear: "I believe you're a real magician." A gentle smile appears on his face. He removes his signature hat and places it on her head. Whatever you imagine while wearing it can become real. Then the magician walks toward the waiting officers. Yuna suddenly steps in front of him and raises a large black cloth. Looking directly at the magician, she asks one final question: "Do you believe in magic?" The cloth falls. The magician is gone. The officers search every corner of the amusement park, but it's as if he disappeared into thin air. No one ever finds him. Time quietly moves forward. Yuna and her younger sister stand beside Bella's grave. As they say goodbye to the magician's loyal companion, Yuna realizes something. Bella never feared dying. She feared being left alone. But the mystery surrounding the magician is finally about to be solved. While reviewing old evidence, investigators discover something extraordinary. One of the amusement park's surveillance cameras mysteriously turned back on for exactly 4 minutes on the night of Dalmi's murder. That footage changes everything. It clearly shows the convenience store owner at the scene. The truth finally comes to light. Months earlier, Dalmi secretly recorded him while he was trying to harass her. To protect himself, he murdered her. Then he carefully planted the magician's fingerprints on the murder weapon. He even disguised himself as the magician while committing additional crimes, making sure every clue pointed toward an innocent man. The magician had been framed all along. Not long afterward, Yuna visits the police station herself. She tells the investigators the convenience store owner also tried to assault her. Her testimony helps expose the truth once and for all. Before she leaves, Detective asks a question that's been bothering him. How did every light and every security camera suddenly start working for exactly 4 minutes after years of being broken? Yuna smiles to herself. She remembers everything the magician showed her, but she says nothing. Some mysteries are better left unexplained. Life slowly begins moving forward. At school, Minhu makes the biggest decision of his life. His teacher asks why he's throwing away the future everyone expected him to have. He smiles, then quietly replies, "I didn't realize flowers never bloom on smooth roads. They bloom on rough ones." With those words, he walks away from the life others had chosen for him. One day, Yuna sits down to write a letter, not to her mother, but to the magician. She tells him her father has finally found steady work and now comes home every weekend. They're still buried in debt, but for the first time, they're slowly finding hope. She writes that she still visits the abandoned amusement park. Even though the world keeps moving, that place feels frozen in time. She still writes letters to her mother, to Bella, and to him. Every letter is placed inside the same mysterious mailbox. Whether they ever reach him, she doesn't know, but she keeps writing anyway. Yuna has now become a magician herself, performing at a hotel, not because she wants fame, but because she wants to give people the same feeling the magician once gave her. A little hope, a little wonder, and a reason to smile. The story ends exactly where it began. Yuna looks toward the small girl, smiles, and asks one final question: "Do you believe in magic?"